Hey guys, today we're going to talk about this Timex 49900. I don't think this is made anymore. In fact, I don't think it's on Timex's webpage anymore. It's I got it through Amazon, but it looks like they're selling still on Amazon, eBay, and all that, but I don't think this is a watch they're making anymore. So this is one, if you're interested in it, you might want to grab it now while you can. So now that you've had a look at this on the old wrist, we're going to take a closer look at this guy. This is a watch I picked out because I really like the style. I am a big fan of smaller, kind of sleek watches, and this one is not so much small, but it's a very thin and sleek, kind of aerodynamic watch. Plus, I'm also a big fan of digital displays, and this one with the negative display just caught my eye. You know, its features are pretty standard for, you know, an inexpensive watch. You know, you have your chrono, timer, 3 alarms. You know, very simple. You have your indigo light, which probably won't show very good, but it actually works very good in person. You know, your buttons are pretty clearly labeled and all that. It's a Timex Expedition, so these things are pretty tough and pretty rugged. 50-meter water resistance, so pretty much just, you know, I wouldn't go swimming with it. A little stainless steel back. Some of the things I like about this is, number one, how it wears. It wears very close to the wrist without a lot of obtrusions or things like that to get in the way or catch on things. I typically break watches because I catch them on things. And that is, you know, I'm doing something and boom, you know, next thing you know, the strap is off. And in the end, sometimes when it comes down to watches, you know, replacing straps every couple of months ends up costing more than the watch, at least when you're into budget watches. So, you know, do you really want to spend 40 bucks on a watch and then, you know, 50 bucks throughout the year buying new straps for it? So for me, a smaller watch like this, it doesn't stick up very far, does a lot better job because I don't have to replace the straps so much. Like, you know, I did have a Casio G-Shock way back in the day, and that's what I found was I just broke strap after strap because those big hunks of metal just got caught on everything. And something like this lasts longer for me. It's not as tough, but it lasts longer. I like that the band is kind of wide, but then tapers down. It's a thicker, tougher band than a lot of the cheap watches that you get. The keeper has a little kind of indexing mark on it there, so the keeper actually latches into the strap, so you don't have to worry so much about that sliding all over the place. The buttons are pretty unobtrusive. Like I said, this is really, the fact that this wears well is the best thing about it. So, quality-wise, it's what you're going to expect out of an inexpensive, you know, Chinese-made LCD watch. You know, it's nothing great. Accuracy is okay. We're going to see, I think I have another phone here. I'm going to hopefully bring up some kind of time to check this with. Alright, so yeah, so I've been very happy with this, and the accuracy is very good as well. It's one of the cool things now about watches is these quartz movements are very accurate. So as we bring this up here, you can see we are about 4 or 5 seconds behind, and I've had this watch for well over a month, so obviously what we're losing is about a second a week on this thing. So very accurate as far as I'm concerned. You're talking losing maybe a minute or two a year, which is really fantastic considering this is a $30 watch. In fact, I think it's even less than that. So that combined with all these things, you know, I'm not big on watch features. I really don't need chronos and alarms and things like that. I tend to use the countdown timer more than anything, especially like when you're cooking. You know, you throw something in the oven, you forget, you know, and the oven beepers, like you can't hear that in the bathroom. So I really use that feature for that, and that's about it. I don't really use a lot of the features. I'm not big into that stuff. I really just want a watch that's easy to read. Now, this negative display, you know, at some angles it's kind of difficult to read, but for the most part it's pretty simple. And the Indiglo works very well, so in dark places it comes out very well. So yeah, I mean, aside from the fact that in, like, when you hit that butter zone where it's not bright enough for the Indiglo, but not, you know, sometimes it can be difficult to read, but it's really like when you're talking about is that like hour before sunrise and sunset, you know, in that period there. But yeah, out in a nice, bright, well-lit office, this has a very good contrast to it and looks very good. Yeah, I mean, overall, guys, like I said, I like how this watch wears. You know, the Timexes are pretty tough. I've owned a couple of Timexes over the years, so I'm pretty familiar with them, and I know the Expeditions are pretty tough because they're watches I don't break a ton. But at the same time, I think that's a matter of form rather than anything else because they don't make big, huge, gigantic parachute watches that, break easy. I mean, this thing right here, the LCD is, I'm sorry, the crystal is slightly recessed, so I haven't had any issues with it scratching on anything. Any little scuffs I've had on it has come out with toothpaste and a polishing cloth. But overall, this thing's a very nice little investment for the 30 bucks. I mean, it's really a shame that this isn't on Timex's webpage anymore, but I may end up buying one or two more of these from Amazon just to kind of hold on to. Take the battery out of them so they don't leak and kind of put them away for rainy day, because I do like this model very much, and this is really in line with what I like for an everyday watch. This is something I can wear in the office. It's something I can wear around the house. I can wear it to bed. It's not big and obtrusive or in the way. It's not loud. There's no big beepings or anything like that. You can shut all that off. I can read it at night. I can read it wherever. It's got a lot of good, simple, easy to use features, and it's not going to break the bank. If I do break it, oh well, it's only 20, 30 bucks. But yeah, I've used this, around the house. I've used it, out in the yard, working on things, doing things like that. So it's seen some tough work as well. My only complaint really is that the band, you do have to kind of leave the band kind of loose or you will get sweaty, because it is that plastic, and I think it's got a sweat factor of 13. So I do have to wear it a little looser than I like to keep from sweating. But on a cold day, it's winter right now, guys, I can ratchet this thing right down and I don't really have any issues with sweating with it. But yeah, I mean, nice clasp to it. I mean, nice thick metal. Really built well for what this is in such an inexpensive watch. So very happy with this guy, and definitely something to look at before these things disappear completely.